I just took the engine out of my CL55 AMG, and I'm going to be showing you guys how to put it up on a engine stand. We have an engine right there, and we got to mount it up to this engine stand. Let me show you guys how. You need to have your engine out of your car, the transmission disconnected. Best to take the torque converter bolts out while the transmission and engine are in the car. So then when you disconnect the actual bell housing from the back of the engine, your torque converter stays inside of the transmission and doesn't spill a whole bunch of fluid. That's a mistake I learned by taking this out the wrong way a few times. Then you get yourself an engine stand. You could get these at Harbor Freight for about $100. This piece here that disconnects from the actual top, a little pin is holding it in place. You take the pin out, this will slide right out. You're gonna wanna hook up exactly as you see here. So it's horizontally even and they're parallel to one another. And then you're gonna wanna mount these straight up to the top of the engine. Here I just use the stock bolts that hold the transmission to the motor, just with a little bit of washers because they were too long. And you could use these stock bolts because they're strong enough to hold this engine. And that's actually another thing. You do not want to use some cheap ass bolts. You wanna use OEM or something high grade. I had to buy at AutoZone an extra long bolt and make kind of my own makeshift washer system here, but we got it all bolted. And the next step, once you have all this torqued down and you trust it, you feel it's safe enough and it's not gonna move, we're gonna hoist the engine up and just slip this into here and then lock this with the pin. That's what's gonna keep it in place. And then we're gonna slide the handle through this hole once it's poking out on the other end. So let's do that right now. All right guys, it always helps to wear some gloves. It's a cheap thing to save your hands. Let's jack this motor up. Actually, I just figured out, I think the hack to this. You just lift the cart up and slip it onto the actual hoist. And you lift the engine up a little bit higher just so this engine stand clears the actual cherry picker engine hoist itself. And that's definitely the easiest way to go about it. Lift up your engine stand onto here, slip it right on. That took 2 seconds. Take your little lock, boom, and take your handle, slip it through, and very carefully drop this correctly and extremely slowly. Push on it ever so slightly. B-E-A-U. We got it all mounted. Now we just have to disconnect all this. When you know the right technique, everything is extremely simple. So always make sure you have all your bolts tightened before you start to disconnect the engine hoist from the engine. This is crucial because your whole engine literally could just fall off and snap off, and you can cause yourself a lot of damage. So make sure you listen to me on this one. I would use some lock nuts so a loose bolt doesn't cause your engine to fall off the stand. That would be the stupidest reason to destroy a couple $1,000 engine due to a foolish mistake of not putting a washer, a lock nut, something to stop the bolt from loosening. It's a very important tip I want you guys to listen to. And I just added some washers to make sure this doesn't come undone and this engine doesn't let go. When you have the engine on properly and you go to drop it, there shouldn't be too much flex here. There's gonna be obviously a little bit of flex, and you wanna make sure this is locked so that doesn't slip out. The hoist is detached. Let's remove all these mounts, and now we have the motor on the stand. Beautiful M113K, but unfortunately, it's got a hole. Oh, well, we got a rod. That's nice. What else can we pull out of here? Oh, we got a piston chunk. Ooh, we got another rod. Nice. Very nice. Damn, this one is snapped in half. Wow. This is the final product once you disconnected your engine hoist, folded it up. This is what you get as the result. A beautiful M113K on the stand and ready to be worked on. Thank you for watching. Subscribe and there will be more content.